So there are certain rules of solving this paper, prelims paper. It should not be like some randomly solving the paper. So if you look at the paper, there are 100 questions. So after every 20 questions, there's a break. Like after every 10 or 20 questions, we have a break. Like first 20 would be polity, next 20 would be history, then would be economy, geography, like that. So so yeah, 1 second. So first we need to, before attempting the paper, like I want you to draw a table which has like row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. So that would be your 4 rows, and make a column on the right side, 1 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100, 81 to 100. So you make rows and you make columns. Rows are round 1, columns are for questions like 1 to 20 question, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, 61 to 80, and 81 to 100. So this should be made before attempting any paper. So once you are done with this, you can start with your paper. Go through the question systematically. In your first round, you need to read every question, like every question, each word. Like also be careful of words like correct, incorrect, true, false, select the following, match the following. You need to be clear. You need to understand what the demand of the question is. So once you have to, when you read a question, you need to read that question in detail in your first round. Like every word you need to understand. You need to find the context of why they are asking this question in the first round itself. And if you know the answer, you just attempt the question in the first round itself, where you're 100% sure. Like there is no guesswork. There should be no guesswork. It should be 100% based on your knowledge. There should be no other factors that you have to consider. So round 1, you read all 100 questions simultaneously, as soon, like wherever you have an answer, just mark it in the paper and also mark it on your OMR sheet. Once you're done with round 1, your OMR sheet should have at least 30 to 40 questions solved. So once you have 30 to 40 questions solved, so the column that I have mentioned, so you will see right from question 1 to 20 in round 1, how many you have solved, mention in that bracket. So if round 1, I have from 1 to 20 question, if I have solved only 6 questions, I'll write 6 corresponding to the row 1. Like round 1, I'll write 6. And similarly from 21 to 40, I'll write how many ever I have solved. So this should be your round 1. And if you add all those numbers, you'll have a number like 30 or 40. It should be at least 30 to 40 questions in round 1, which should be purely based on your knowledge. And there should be no other factors, no other work like guesswork or elimination work, no other work. Only should be based on your knowledge. So if you have around 35 to 40 questions, let's take, for example, 35 questions. If you can solve 35 questions in round 1, which is purely based out of your knowledge, if it is purely based out of your knowledge, there is a chances that your accuracy will be very high, like 95 and above percent. Even if we take 95%, even if you make 32 questions right, 32 into 2, you have 64 marks. And let's take 3 negative, you'll have at least 62 marks in your first round itself. So once you know that you have solved 30 to 35 questions and your accuracy is around 90%, you know that you have already reached the 60 marks. Now rest you have to manage is for the rest 40 marks. So this is how you make your paper certain. Right in the exam hall, only you'll understand that you have already done enough in your first round, so that you don't have to worry for the next round. So in that 2 hours, probably first hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes you will take to read entire paper, solve round 1. And there itself you will have some clarity as to what your scores are, in what range you have your scores. So that's about round 1. So whichever question you have solved, just mark it on the OMR sheet. And the questions which you have left in round 1, make a circle around those questions. Suppose you have not attempted question number 1. So around 1, make 1 circle. So similarly, you do for all questions. So once you start with round 2, here you have to take some risk. You have to do multiple calculations, like you work with the elimination methods. You read the question more carefully, where you might have overlooked in your first round. Here you will read the question more carefully. So once you are done with that question, if you are done, you move on to the next question. If you have left that question for next round, make 2 circles. So this is how we approach round 2 as well. So after round 2, you would have solved some 20 questions. Suppose in round 2, you have accuracy of 60%. 60% means 24 marks are getting there. So earlier round we had 62 marks, 24 marks, we have around 86. Like we have already reached 86 marks, around 86 marks in our 2 rounds. So generally cutoff is around 90 to 95, like the recent trends. So what you need to get to is like above 100 plus. So for that reason, you go for round 3. Round 3 is very risky round, and what I have mentioned, like the 40 and 20 questions, you should ensure that you at least have some 70 questions solved in your 2 rounds, so that your cutoff, your marks are around 100 in right in the first 2 rounds of your solving the paper. And round 3 is only when you want to take some risk, when you are not certain of reaching the 100 mark, you go for round 3. And round 3, where you are stuck with 2 options, there you can actually proceed with round 3 in order to ensure that you at least have 100 marks, you at least reach 100 and above marks. So see, all of this is just a systematic way of solving the paper.